going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Coaches Convos. I'm Coach Will. I'm here with Coach Con as always, and we have a table full of snacks, goody goodies. So today we're going to be talking about what to look for in a pre-workout, what to look for in an intra-workout, what to look for in a post-workout. We're going to break down all of the ingredients, some of the stuff that we use, some of the products that we like or we recommend, and some things that we think you should get more of that these supplements are always lacking in. If you like when we talk about nutrition, or if you like when we talk about other things, be sure to comment down below. As always, like and subscribe. And if you're listening on Spotify, welcome. So first, let's start off with pre-workout. Now, I am a fiend for pre-workout. I don't know about you. I need it. I absolutely cannot function without it when it comes to a workout.
Most definitely, I would agree. I got that pre-workout running through my veins right now as we speak. So it's been a while since I took a day off of pre-workout.
Yes.
Definitely. I would say the purpose of pre-workout is to enhance the athletic performance. They give you boosts of energy to enhance your performance while doing exercises in sport or just bodybuilding type of style. Inside the gym, if you're a casual good gym goer, I do recommend the pre-workout. And then even for our advanced lifters and athletes, I do recommend pre-workout depending on what you're working out inside the gym for the day. Now, I don't recommend pre-workout for if you're coming in to do just simple cardio. That is one thing that I would say. But for myself, I use that pre-workout every single day. What about you?
Absolutely. I definitely use it every day. Pre-workout, when people think of pre-workout, they think of different things. Some people think of the pre-mades, the ready-to drinks. Some people think of the powders. Some people think of coffee. Now, I recommend pre-workouts if you have a good tolerance for caffeine, as well as if you're looking for more than just an energy boost.
Yeah.
Most pre-workouts, I think that's the pump formula. Most pre-workouts have more than just caffeine in them, so that's why I recommend them over caffeine. But there are certain ingredients that you need, and there are certain ingredients that you don't. And there are certain ingredients in most pre-workouts that I don't like because they're not properly dosed. So when you're going for a pre-workout, I want you to look for very specific things. One of my favorite pre-workouts it's called Ouroboros now. It used to have a different name, but this was one of the few that was actually properly dosed with what you needed. It had 200 milligrams of caffeine, which, depending on your tolerance, is probably all you need. If you're a casual coffee drinker, you don't need 300 milligrams. If you're a kid, you don't need 300 milligrams. If you're getting plenty of sleep, you don't need that much. I think the recommendation is no more than 300 to 600 a day of milligrams. You and I are definitely not in that.
Not following that range at all.
We are
definitely not.
certainly
I had a cup
using
of
it.
coffee before my workout, plus the pre-workout as well. So definitely got that caffeine spike. But there is some side effects for using the pre-workout, so just use it with the recommended doses. Don't try and do an extra scoop just to get more feeling of it. Necessarily, you do get some tingly feelings depending on how much pre-workout you use, and then also your heart rate does get accelerated, so you have to be under control while you are going through that workout. So keep that in mind when you are using the pre-workout if you have never used it before.
Absolutely, definitely assess your tolerance. Look for it on the label, the caffeine content. There are some pre-workouts that only do about 160, 120. Others that do 300, so you definitely want to make sure you're properly scooping. If you want to start with half a scoop, just see how you feel. That tingly feeling, with how much caffeine we're drinking, it might be something else, but usually that tingling feeling you're going to feel is actually what we got over here. Or maybe not. Is it this one?
Leave it up there?
Might be, yeah. I think it's over there. But it's beta-alanine. Mm-hmm. Beta-alanine is an amino acid. It is used for muscle recovery. So that might be the tingling sensation you feel. It is harmless. It is being effective. It is running through your body to help recover. Another good recovery that we're going to be looking for in our pre-workout is actually beta-iodine, or betine. I don't know how to actually pronounce it. This we have in something like that. This we have in a straight up a full supplement of it. We use NutriCost over here because it's very cheap to buy in bulk,
cost friendly,
and that we can add to our doses of pre-workout to get a proper dosage. Because a proper dose of beta-alanine is, I believe, 2.5 grams, and then our amount for betaine is 5 grams. Then we're going to talk about L-citrulline. Now we have 2 different types of L-citrulline, actually 3. We have capsules, we have powder, and we have L-citrulline malate.
And real quick, pre-workout and everything that you see on this table can be found in powders, capsules, or liquid form. Just go through and find that.
Yeah, so depending on what you like, you might prefer, capsules, or I think Gatorade had like a pre-workout chew for a little while. I don't know if they still have that.
That's fire.
And there's, definitely, so it depends on what you prefer. If you don't like drinking your pre-workout, you could take capsules on the way to the gym and, bring it down with water, so you have a little more control about what's going in your system.
Yeah.
Also, going back to pre-workout before I go down to citrulline malate, is there's different types of caffeine. There's regular caffeine, there's also extended release caffeine. Extended release is going to slowly give you that energy. So I like extended release caffeine for if I have a long day and I don't want to take too much caffeine. I'll take, I know Ronnie Coleman's, Yeah Buddy has extended release caffeine. KXR has extended release caffeine. I like these. I took a break from them, but I like them to get me through the day without necessarily having that crash. So you have a good amount of energy without necessarily that high spike and then that low spike. Another good stimulant for this is going to be actually taurine. Taurine is a different dosage. Caffeine, we're talking about 300 milligrams, whereas taurine, effective dosage is 1,000 milligrams.
That taurine gets you going, man.
Absolutely. It's a different type of stimulant, so if you do find yourself not getting the same effect from caffeine, I recommend switching over to a pre-workout that has taurine in it. There's not many. I know Condemned Labs Lockdown is a good. So I use it as an intra-workout, but it's good to be used for a pre-workout if you don't want to take caffeine, because it has the 5 grams of creatine you need, and we'll talk more about creatine in a second. It also has glycerol powder for the pump, and then it has taurine in it, so that'll get you. It's not going to get you as spiked as, say, caffeine, but it is going to keep you at a steady level of energy, and you're not going to feel that same crash as caffeine.
Definitely. We don't want that crash.
Absolutely.
We don't want that crash.
It's good. I used to toggle off these when I would get really too much of one. I would toggle off on the other to take a break to reset my tolerance and then come back into it. It is recommended to take tolerance breaks anyway when it comes to caffeine or stimulants in general. You should be able to find time to take a break and take off of it for at least a week just to let your body reset and not be riddled with stimulants. But other chemicals you can use is citrulline malate. So citrulline,
back to the malate.
citrulline regular, L-citrulline is an amino acid. It is used to help promote blood flow. So the blood flow is going to help with the pump. Citrulline malate is a combination. The malate is going to help with the effectiveness of the citrulline. That's why it's a 2-to-1 ratio. The malate also goes to have a kind of a citrusy, bitter taste. So if I were to take a scoop of this unflavored right here, the L-citrulline, versus if I were to take a scoop of the unflavored L-citrulline malate, this is still going to taste citrusy and bitter. And then...
Not too good. Not too good.
So for our bodybuilders, if you're looking for a pump, L-citrulline is great. A lot of pre-workouts have L-citrulline in it, but again, not properly dosed. They maybe have 3,000. You can go upwards of 6 to 10. I wouldn't go past that necessarily. You're not going to get any effect in it. All it's going to do is just run through your body, and you're going to piss it out, and you're going to be literally peeing away money.
Yeah, and now those are our branched chain aminos. Now we also do take a scoop of our amino acids, BCAAs necessarily. I take that before my workout as well, and I do that once every day also. So if you'd like, you could separate them for your pre-workout, or we could get them in together and then make it into a BCAA, a full drink. Okay, so the purpose of BCAAs is to regain our energy and strength, and then enhance recovery time as well. Okay, so we're looking to do that in a quick manner. For those of us hardcore lifters, we are in the gym almost every single day, and we don't like taking our rest days or recovering properly, so this will speed that process up. Protein synthesis gets boosted, all that good stuff. We want that when we're crushing our bodies and then going back home to rest. We need the proper fuel and energy to do so. Alright, so you can mix these together, or you could just buy BCAAs, branched chain aminos, if you want to go into more depth on those.
Definitely, absolutely. So A lot of people are probably already reeling and already cringing at the word branched chain amino acids because a lot of studies have showed that this is there's a lot of branched chain amino acids that are not necessarily helpful or useful. What I like about the amino acids that we take is they're branched chain as well as essential amino acids. So there are amino acids that aren't going to necessarily help with the protein synthesis, but essential amino acids are going to help with the protein synthesis if you have any kind of protein that is not based on meat. So plant-based protein is not a complete protein. The amino acids are what are the building blocks of the protein that completes the protein so that it can be used for muscle recovery. So that's why a lot of vegetarian lifters or vegan lifters or anyone who's on a vegan or vegetarian diet in general, they need to have a supplementation of branched chain and essential amino acids so that they get a complete protein and then they can actually recover from their muscles. Another good use of recovery, while we're on that part of it, is creatine. Now, which we don't have here.
Oh, we didn't bring it?
No, I forgot to grab that. But creatine is another one that I'm sure a lot of people are twitching and cringing at right now because if you're like me, you heard 1,000 people say, you're going to ruin your kidneys, you're going to lose your hair. I think we talked about this previously.
Yeah,
creatine is one of the
most studied supplements out there to date.
The purpose of it is to boost your ATP. The ATP is the energy of your muscle. It's the gas tank of your muscle. So it's going to help channel water into your muscle. It's going to help replenish ATP levels to help boost recovery and help keep you going longer in the gym. So creatine, you only need 5 grams. You can supplement it with additional, just straight microdosed creatine. But depending on the pre-workout you take, you might already be having, depending on the pre-workout you take, the post-workout you take, and whatever red meat you're eating during the day, you might already be hitting your creatine levels. So that is up to you and your own research, looking at what you have. If you already are hitting 5 grams a day, you're not going to get any benefit from the additional creatine. You're not necessarily going to have any adverse effects as long as you're drinking an adequate amount of water. But again, if you're buying creatine and it's just running through your system. To recovery, we're also going to talk about fish oil. Fish oil is great for a myriad of reasons. Fish oil is helping, it's a healthy fat, it's going to help with brain health, it's going to help with any kind of emotional instability you may have, any kind of depression. There's a lot of leading signs that fish oil is going to help with any kind of depression or any kind of mental illness. So especially during these cold winter months, which we're almost out of, fish oil is great for that. Fish oil is also good for muscle recovery. It's also good for weight loss because the fish oil is going to fill the fat cells early in the morning with a healthy fat rather than, the McDonald's you're about to get on the way here. Fish oil also is good for bone health. It's also good for, like I said, muscle recovery. I recommend fish oil. You can take a lot of it. If you look at someone like, The Rock, his diet is high fish. It is mostly cod and mostly, I think, salmon and tuna. So his diet has a lot of fish oil in it. I don't know about you, but me personally, I do not like fish.
Yeah, I haven't had a single piece of fish in 3 years, so I take 2 of these a day.
Absolutely. So that's very helpful. Another one that I forgot to talk about when we were talking about pump, going back to you bodybuilders.
Yeah. Beetroot
is a great natural oxidant. So that is going to help with promoting blood flow, which is going to help with vascularity and going to help with the pump and going to help keep the muscles full of blood. Same thing with what we have here, which is pump formula. This has things like beta in it. It also has L-theanine. Yeah, it's hard to pronounce some of these words, which is always good for you.
It's so hard to pronounce the words.
Which is good for you to make sure you're doing your research. If you cannot pronounce a word, you should probably look it up and discuss it with, your personal trainer or a fitness nutrition specialist or a nutritionist or a doctor.
Or a doctor, yeah, that one.
Definitely,
Definitely.
We can say all we want, but definitely always be advised with your doctor because you might have some kind of adverse reaction to certain chemicals or certain supplementations that are not good for you.
Yeah, keep in mind, you're going to be mixing, we don't use all of this stuff at once, but sometimes we use all of it. We're mixing a lot of things together when we are going in just to get a hardcore workout. So you got to keep in mind your health is super important, so you don't want to be putting bad things in to give you a bad stimulus and make you feel weird while you're working out.
Absolutely. And yeah, if you do not feel well, if you don't like any of the stuff, these are just recommendations for us.
Yes.
These are things that we find very helpful for us. They make us feel good. They make us feel more effective in our workout. If you do not like using these, don't take them.
Yeah, this makes me feel real good, guys.
Absolutely.
Pump right there, that's necessary.
The pump is very good, especially for bodybuilders like us. It's good to get that vascularity and good to get that blood flow going through. From a nutrition standpoint, if you want more, this is a little free tip for you guys for trying to get more vascular, more blood flow. Leafy greens. Leafy greens are going to help also drop water weight. It's going to help with blood flow. It's going to help get you that pump. That's why Popeye had those mighty forearms. You know,
with his spinner, he said, Popeye, I'm dead. I'm dead.
So what else do we have here? We're talking about the citrulline.
Okay, so we also have right here dextrose. So dextrose is just a simple carb. I'm gonna move it over. Booyah, this bad boy. All right. So we won't have to order another one for a good year, but I'm gonna move it back. Basically, that's a simple carb. All right. So what we're doing, we're trying to provide our body or our muscles with extra water and carbohydrates without necessarily eating something that will have negative fats in it and all that good stuff. Okay. So keeping it clean and simple sugar, easy to break down, quick in the bloodstream. Also gives you a good pump too, I would say, for me.
Yes.
I would say it gives me a good pump and it enhances my performance in my workout. So say if I am carb cycling, say if I want to hit a leg day and I don't have carbs the day before, I'm going to make sure to take 2 scoops of the dextrose, so the simple carb, before my workout, and that would be just as if I was to eat like a bowl of pasta or something like that in that sense, or a cup of rice. All right, so I'm going to use this before my workouts to enhance my performance and also get a nice little pump too. You know what I mean? Just to get it. All right, but what about you? What would you use?
Oh, absolutely. No, it's definitely a good simple sugar, a simple carb that is fast digesting. It's going to give you a quick influx of glycerin, glycogen. I'm sorry. Glycerin, I think, is like a poison.
Sounds like
Glycogen storage, because you're depleting your glycogen storage when you're working out. So to have the dextrose, have the carbs channel through your body immediately, it's fast digesting because it's a very simple sugar or simple carb, whatever you want to call it. The os at the end means sugar. So it's a simple carbohydrate, whereas your bowl of pasta might take a little longer to process. So it might also make you feel sluggish. Now, mind you,
and then pasta sauce on top, you know,
exactly.
Extra stuff. It's not needed. It's not needed.
So now you have a lot of other stuff that's not necessarily going to benefit you during your workout. But I will say, if you're doing powdered dextrose, now he said it's good for a year. It's probably good for a couple months because we have a bunch of trainers here that use it, and a bunch of our trainers are on off season right now. So I don't know about you, but during my off season, I was 2-3 scooping depending on what kind of workout I was doing.
Yeah, I gotta start 3 scooping it. Jeez.
Hey, we're about to cut, so I don't know about 3 scooping.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right. I might still 3 scoop and be freaking hockey.
I did 2 scoops for the last cut. It was helping a lot, but I also cut my carbs elsewhere.
Exactly.
But if you don't, I will say this: it is very grainy, it's very chalky, it's very thick.
Really?
If you do 2 or 3 scoops, when I mix it with my piece
third scoop.
It definitely sits in your stomach a little bit if you drink it too fast, which ideally you should be drinking it within the first 30 minutes of your workout. If you don't want to go through all that, if you don't want to buy a brick of dextrose, another option is actually what you have right over there, which is Gatorade. Gatorade is also just dextrose. It's a simple sugar.
Simple sugar, just a little bit more added sugar. It's about like 24 grams or 30 grams of sugar. Yeah, 21 grams of sugar in this. I'm going to drink it, but it's not good. You know, It's not good compared to the simple carb right here. All right?
It's a give and take. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's funny how Gatorade used to be sold as the healthy drink, and then the more we learned over time that how unhealthy it is, now there's actually a healthy version, or it's like a fit. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Like fit Gatorade?
They're disgusting, man. They got up, man. They came up.
They went full circle. It's so funny to see. I was so shocked when I saw them. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yes.
Aren't you supposed to be the fitness drink to begin with?
Like, come on, guys. But even so, I think Powerade has better nutritional facts. I'm not even. That's my bad.
We'll break down Powerade versus Gatorade in another episode. Comment down below to remind us because we're gonna forget. And now I see you grabbing that. It's time to talk about our post-workout.
So this right here is absolutely necessary, no matter what flavor, no matter where you get it from, what you isolate. We need our protein, okay? Protein is the founding stone, building blocks of our body to build and put muscle onto our body. We definitely need this. If we're not getting this or hitting our protein intake, we won't be able to build any type of muscle or anything. We're in the gym to build a little bit of muscle, for me at least, So I take a scoop of protein either once every day or 2 times a day. So it is a supplement. I'm not looking to get my whole protein sources through just powder. I am going to try and get it through the food absolutely first. If I can't get all the protein through my foods, then I'm going to add 1 more scoop or have another extra protein shake. Okay, I do my protein shake between 30 minutes to an hour after my workout. Some days I let it hang, maybe 2 hours, but I always make sure to just get 1 protein shake in a day, because if you look at this scooper, it is 25 grams per scoop. Now I'm looking to get maybe 25 to 30 grams, even 40 grams out of 1 sitting, but keep in mind your body's not going to process all of the protein in 1 sitting. You will be pooping out half of it, all right? So that's why we do get enough protein in our food and diet. So make sure that that is being hit every single day. Before and after your workout, keep in mind we must hit our protein daily. But what would you say?
No, absolutely. I don't know if we talked about meal timing on this podcast before, so we'll definitely discuss that. Yeah, we'll discuss that more, especially going into our onto our prep. We'll talk more about that. But you hit it around the head. You hit the nail around the head. It's supplementation. So the goal is to whatever you can't get to in diet alone, you add protein. The benefit of adding protein rather than food is that you're probably going to be keeping yourself in a caloric deficit or close to a caloric deficit, or at least maintenance. It's hard to get all your protein from foods while still keeping your calories relatively low or relatively realistic. When it comes to protein, you should be aiming for about, I say, 1 gram per pound of body weight. I usually aim a little bit higher because if you shoot for the moon, you still end up at the stars. So if I'm aiming for 200 grams of protein a day, I'm only sitting at 170 right now. So if I'm aiming for 200 and I end up at 170, well then that's a lot better than if I aim at 170 and end at 150. It's all about mentality. It's all about behavior modification and change. When I recommend protein intake for my clients, I am going to give them an abnormally high number with the caveat, you're going to fail this number. But I want you to hit it I want you to aim for this every time, knowing that you're going to end up at your actual goal. And that's always my goal. So if I'm at, 120, 130 out of my food alone, and then I still need to get to that 160, well, now I'm going to grab a double scoop protein shake that I make here at Gold's Gym, Other forms of protein is casein, which we talked about before. Casein is slow digesting. And another benefit of whey protein is it's a fast digesting protein. That's why we take it right after our workout, so that we can immediately bring the protein to our muscles that we just taxed so that they can recover faster. Casein is very beneficial because it is a slow digesting protein. Slow digesting protein means that it's going to satiate you longer, hold your hunger. One of my clients, he has a bad habit of waking up in the middle of the night starving, and he eats everything in sight. So he's like, I don't understand. I'm not gonna be able to hit my goals because I'm just so hungry at the end of the day. So I recommended him casein. Casein is going to hold him over through the night so that he's not waking up in the middle of the night shoveling rice cakes in his throat just to satiate that hunger.
Exactly, and I have an example of what I would do necessarily. I would make a casein protein shake, because I have one at my house too still. It was cookies and cream, dude. It was so good. Cookies and cream casein protein shake, but I would mix it with a cup of oats. So I would have that before I went to bed, and that would hold me in even for the morning, because sometimes I have to wake up super early, 6 o'clock, and then I'm getting out of the house by 6:15, 6:20, and I couldn't get that breakfast in. So it would hold me all the way up until morning time around 7 o'clock for when I can hit my first breakfast necessarily. So I do recommend the casein and the whey, but there's also whey isolate that is a little bit calmer and better on your stomach, most definitely. So if excuse me, for those of us that are lactose intolerant, you run to the bathroom right after you have a little bit of milk or any type of anything, the whey isolate will definitely do magics and do tricks on your stomach. That's something that I take as well.
Absolutely. And if you do have a lactose issue, lactose intolerance, it's also recommended to just go straight to pea protein. Pea protein, most of them now on the market have the essential amino acids and the branched chain amino acids in it to make it a complete protein so that you can take it without necessarily having the ramifications of eating dairy.
And real quick, because we keep saying protein. Remember when we were talking about the branched chain aminos and how they boost your protein synthesis? So if you mix this with the protein right after your workout, what do you think is going to be happening?
A more effective protein.
Exactly. More effective protein synthesis. Your body will be able to build and form that muscle in a quicker process, and the quicker that it goes, the better you'll feel.
Absolutely. So that is all the supplements that we take. They're all right here. They're all here at the gym for us, which is very convenient. Minus our casein and our protein at night. If you guys have any questions, if you guys have any supplements that you are taking or want to take that you have questions about, send them to us. We'll react to them. We'll pull them up. We'll pull up all the ingredients list. We'll go item by item to make sure that what you're getting is beneficial, cost-effective, worth your money, and safe for you. Because unfortunately, a lot of these supplements are not FDA regulated. They're not tested by the Food and Drug Administration, so there's not necessarily any fact-checking going on with what's in them. That's why there are a lot of supplement brands that go under some controversy.
Yeah.
So always do your due diligence on your part. Always ask doctor recommendation, and if you're looking for our recommendation, we'd love to tell you. Mm-hmm. Our ads are going to be down here if you want us just to message you and talk about it, or we can put it on the podcast.
Now let me leave off with this. Keep your diet in check. You cannot out-supplement a bad diet. So if you are going to have a bad diet, do not come into the gym and expecting to use all this thing that you see on the table and get a good performance while doing so. Alright, so again, you cannot out-supplement a bad diet, so just keep that in mind when you are going into the gym and working out. Everything starts inside the kitchen and it finishes inside the kitchen as well. Alright, so keep that in mind when you are looking to supplement. We do have a bunch of other supplements that we didn't show, like fat burners, and then also a bunch of different stimuluses as well. But again, like he was saying, do your due diligence, do your research before you start taking, and try to not take as much, because less is more.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Now we're about to start prep, so we're gonna be going crazy, guys.
Yeah,
crazy.
that is a really important factor. We are bodybuilders. This is our sport. This is our profession. Mm-hmm. So we do take a lot of stuff to give us a competitive edge, especially in the natural game.
Exactly.
We don't take it for. I mean, you can argue we're taking performance-enhancing drugs. We're not taking steroids.
Exactly. So yeah, that is a key thing. All of these things that you do see on the table, in my opinion, and in Will's, well, I'll speak for me, enhance your performance. All right. So these are, I call them my drugs. All right.
Yes.
I know it sounds bad, but these are my drugs to enhance my performance when I do go into the gym. Just because I'm not on performance-enhancing drugs. Now, if I was, I probably would still be taking these too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you still need the edge.
Exactly. We still need that edge when we're in this competitive, sphere. Okay.
So before we go, that's actually a good point. Let's break down, if you are a regular gym goer, you're not a bodybuilder, you're not an athlete, you are just someone who's looking to be healthy, take care of themselves, what do you recommend?
BCAAs, pre-workout, protein, fish oil, that's all.
Yes.
Right on the table. These four out of everything.
That's insane. What we have versus what... No, but I 100% agree. Pre-workout to get you through your workout to make it more effective, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what your supplements are. If you're not working hard in the gym and eating right, you're not going to get the results you want. The fish oil, we already talked about how many benefits that has outside of just meatheads like me and you. What else did you say? You said the branched amino acids, I agree, and the protein, yeah, there's nothing really else. Multivitamins and like others, things like that. So
stuff.
Yeah. So multivitamins is a good general source of, what you need that you might not be getting in your average diet. It's very hard to get all of the micronutrients you need in an average American diet.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, the Western culture. Multivitamin, fish oil. If you have trouble sleeping, melatonin or magnesium are really good to help with clarity and really to help you sleep, because recovery is also very important. If you're not sleeping well, then that also throws all this out the window. If you're not, I have a guy who he works hard, he's eating his protein, but he's not sleeping right, and he's not seeing the same results he could be because he's not sleeping right.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what other like supplements, like fiber. If you don't have enough fiber in your diet, you might need to supplement that. Prebiotic and probiotic, especially if you're lactose intolerant. You're probably not going to get the same probiotics that an average person can eat because they're eating yogurts and cheese and all the stuff that's going to give you probiotics. So you might need to supplement that for your gut health. That's all I take. Vitamin D3 I take more for the testosterone boost, but I do get a lot of that from sunlight, and I do get a lot of that from my food. What about you? Is there anything else that you take?
No.
All
This
right.
is it.
Yeah.
This is everything.
Everything. All on the
Literally
table for you.
everything right on the
So
table
this is our
for you
secret, guys. This is what we do to look the way we do. Obviously, on top of the hard work, the consistency, the recovery, and the hydration.
None of that changes. Right?
None of that
changes. Some days we'll take some out. We'll pull some things. We won't use all of it some days. But the workout, the work ethic, the mindset, that can't change throughout the entirety of the whole prep, this whole season, any day. Just being inside the whole atmosphere. You got to be yourself, and you can't, let it beat you. Most definitely can't let the weights beat you. Come on, come on.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, so I would leave it off with that. This is everything that I use. This is everything that I would recommend for you to use. These 4 for our casual gym goers. Everything on the table that we've explained for our extreme experienced lifters that are into bodybuilding or powerlifting or whatever modality of training that you're into. But then again, I would say keep in mind, make sure that you aren't using just nonsense. All right, do your due diligence and your research before you just start popping pills and taking scoops of things.
Yes, absolutely. Because we've all been there. We've all made silly mistakes.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Our ads are going to be down here if you have any questions for us or if you have any topics for the podcast. New videos every Tuesday at 10. Hope to see you guys there. Take care.
Peace.